Hey everyone, Craig Reams here, back with another video. In this video I'm just going to do a bit of a walkthrough on a remix I just completed. This isn't going to replace the normal tutorials that I do. I just thought it might be good just to do tracks as I release them, to do a bit of a walkthrough, and people might be able to pick up some little tips and tricks throughout. Plus it's a lot easier to do these ones, and I can just scatter them throughout the tutorials as well, so it sort of doubles up the videos so people got a bit more to watch. The couple of things I'm going to cover is just some vocal effects I did on this, a little build-up effect that I did, how I come about cutting the samples up to get a sort of a different arrangement, and how I also made the track fairly dark and just how I went about that. You can download this for free over at my SoundCloud. The link is just in the description. And it's enough for me just dribbling, so might as well get into it. First up is the xylophone. The original sample was this one. So yeah, it's like a pretty good sample, and there's lots of little bits you can cut out of it, so I just went about it and just cut the different sections up. And then once you start to put the effects on, and see, I've routed it here to a tape delay, which is the triplet delay, and then I've laid it up with the one from the EXS, and then I've got all these routed into the bus, which I've just got a little bit of EQ and compression. But then when you add them all together, sort of gives that sound of the xylophones falling away, which I thought was kind of cool. So yeah, just because you get a sample and it's already like this, good way to come about a new rhythm, a new way to approach a remix is just to cut the samples up and start to rearrange them and start to get something that that sounds your own and doesn't sound too similar to the original, because otherwise it just becomes kind of like a re-edit rather than a remix. Next up is the vocals. The vocals for this are really good. There was so much in there, and his vocals are really strong, so it was just really good to work with them. The original is just like this. You didn't have to cut me off, make a like. I've just got the different sections because of the volumes and stuff like that. Instead of having to do automation, I've just separated the verses and the choruses onto different channels, and then I've got them routed to a bus, some EQ, compression, chorus to thicken it up, and then a bit of space design to give the reverb. You didn't have to cut me off, make a like it. And I remember reading through in some interviews and stuff with him that he was talking about like a lot of isolation when he was making the record, so I thought I'd try and give that sort of feeling with this as well by just adding. I've just cut out sort of some key phrases here, sent them onto their own track here with some reverb, and then I've got that same triplet delay on there as well. So the two of them together. You didn't have to cut me off, make it like it never happened, but now we were nothing. And I don't even need your love, but you treat me like a stranger, and that feels so rough. So yeah, it sort of gives the feeling that he's kind of by himself, sort of thing. I thought it sounded kind of cool. Next up is something that a little effect that I wanted to do, as this is like the breakdown section here, as I wanted to build it all up and then cut everything away. So you can see I've muted a lot of the channels, I muted a lot of the regions here, and this is just because I've already bounced them down to audio. And in that section I've just got just some strings. As you can see, everything starts to get louder and louder. I've just got the cutoff filters and got the strings there. Got just a really low down sort of pad and some more pianos there, and them all added together. So I wanted it to build up over this section. I'll play it with everything else so you can sort of hear what the effect I was going for. I don't need that though. Now you're just somebody that I used to know. Somebody really building up here. Now you're just somebody that I used to know. So you can hear there that everything builds up. I found that having all of these, it started to get a little bit overwhelming. So I've just got the EQ on, and then I've just put a low cut. Just have the low cut there, and then added in with the sort of the other effects down here. Have these ones rising as this one's sort of fading out. So kind of works, and everything sort of sits in there a little bit better. Before I had the low cut, it was just a little bit overwhelming. And the last bit before I kind of just go on and on is just how I went about making the track sound like super dark, with that ominous sort of the sounds in there. Like it really comes in around this section here. Obviously added in with the xylophone that's sort of falling away. I've got this massive here. So I'll just solo that out. And all it is I've just got the synth and then I've pulled the cutoff way down, so normally it sounds like, but I wanted it nice and sort of muted sort of a sound with the bass in there as well, makes it sound nice and dark. Some other things I did was at the first drop I put a high pass on the kick. So rather than have everything in there, it's just the low sort of thumping of the kick going on. And then also to add in there, and it helps add a little bit more to the track, is just got like little things like stabs here, got like tiny little string samples that are playing, and also this one, which is really good. Hence why I named it Horror. Hopefully you guys can hear that at home. It's just like really low in the background. That's another thing I did, sorry, just going back a little bit, was these same cuts that I used for the vocal here, I just moved them into the different sections of the breakdown to help add a little bit more and give people a sense of they know what song's coming up, or they might be able to pick out what song's coming up. So yeah, hopefully you guys got something out of that. If you want to see how I made any other part of that in more detail, just drop us a line. And until next time, which I've got a proper tutorial for you, see you later.